You're watching Reality Check. Tonight, politics explodes over rising fuel prices. With today's hike, there have now been 9 hikes in 10 days, the steepest 10-day hike in at least 20 years. Just look at that for a second. The number of hikes day after day after day, 80 paise, 80 paise, 80 paise, 80 paise, all the way from 22nd March, all the way up to 31st March is hike after hike after hike. The government's argument that this is simply the outcome of global price volatility has been questioned, given that there was a freeze on price hikes since November, right during the election period. And we can look at that. Just look at how there were all these hikes in the lead up to the election period, and then right from the November to March period, absolutely flat at 109.98 rupees per litre. And then 10 days after the election results, the hikes have started. Now, opposition parties have taken to the streets and protested in Parliament, arguing that the centre should reduce taxes on fuel to ease the burden on citizens. In response, the BJP has hit back, arguing that since states also impose taxes on fuel, they could slash taxes as well. In fact, the BJP says opposition states have amongst the highest fuel prices. Is this truth or hype? Let's look at that. The NDA does count for amongst the top 5 states with the highest fuel prices. Telangana and Maharashtra are right on top. These are non-BJP states, but Madhya Pradesh is right there at number 3, followed by Congress-ruled Rajasthan and NDA-run Bihar at 112.51 rupees of petrol per litre. This is as of March 31st. But the counter-argument is that even if states are expected to cut taxes, states, non-BJP states, opposition says central tax is a much larger component, over 60% of the total tax burden, while state taxes form the rest. This is based on a calculation from the breakup of petrol pricing in Delhi as of 16th March, the last date for which there was data. Moreover, the centre has almost tripled excise duty or central fuel taxes since the Modi government came to power in 2014. March 2014, taxes amounted to 9.5 rupees per litre, central taxes. Currently, that's almost 3 times as much at 28 rupees per litre. And finally, even with this increased central taxation, the centre has increased their share versus what they share with states. To explain, centre's duties on fuel are in 2 parts: taxes, which are shared with states, and cesses, which come only to the centre. Earlier, this was more evenly divided, but now the centre earns 96%. Let's look at that chart. 96% of excise duties and only shares the remaining 4% with states.